we are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
That's what you do. You buy these players that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on with a smile on his face.
He just wants you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, to the Western press and the Western narrative. He dares you take you the same old, every single day, without this. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Stallone. Good evening, everyone. It's me again. And my little mate, little George. He's with us. After this Hogman egg. You can't keep a good fella down, can you, to be honest? I thought he'd be suffering from the likes of hangovers and, too much scotch and much merriment. And anyway, I'm going to bring him in now. I'll just say hello to these lads. Callum, the greatest copite in the world. And he says, you'll never walk alone. I don't know what's wrong with this lighting here. I really don't. And Paul said, Happy New Year, Frank. I hope 2025 will be a good one for you. Thank you, Paul. Steve says, let's go, champ. Yes, let's go, champ. And I haven't seen you since last year. Been too long, says Callum. Thanks, Callum. I haven't seen you either. And I haven't seen this fella either, the great George Scott. And there he is, the legend himself.
Hi, Frank.
Happy New Year, George.
Very happy New Year to you and all the lads on the chat. I hope you all had a great Christmas and a wonderful New Year. I know I did.
Yeah, well, obviously, I was thinking about you there. Honestly, I was just sitting there, I had a little Baileys, and I was thinking about you. And I thought, there he is, drinking his little scotches and having a, good old thing with Carol, your wife.
Yeah, we had a lovely Christmas Eve with my youngest son and his family, and nice Christmas Day with my oldest son and his family. And then on Boxing Day, it was fantastic because we won fantastic 5-0 down at West Ham United, which was incredible. So proud of the team. And New Year was lovely. I had a nice New Year's Eve. We just shared a bottle of wine and overdosed on chocolate. And now I'm starting to get myself into supreme condition again for the new year.
Trying to get into shape again. So those trousers will fit you, fit you well again. Okay.
Get out, walk in, playing golf, get some fresh air.
Oh, well, that's
all right. Yeah, great stuff, Frank. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve says, hi, George.
Hi, Steve. Hiya.
And Paul saying, Happy New Year, George, to you and your family.
And to you and yours, Paul. And to you and yours.
Off topic. Was the marathon today, and it's closing after the weekend for 3 years? Are you talking about the marathon? I'm not interested in that particular place, to be honest. But I don't know, Edward, honestly. Where have you two legends been lately? Ain't seen you since 2024, says Steve.
Been on holiday, Steve.
Yeah, we've been away, getting drunk. And Edward says, hello, Frank and George in chat.
Hey, Edward.
Isn't that nice, though? You know, they're all here. Yeah, listen, look at this one here. Steve says, Frank George to lead the FSG out protest. Trent, Virgil, Salah to stay protest this month. So what do you think? What's going on? I've been watching at some pubs, you know, and they're going on about Trent, obviously. They've been saying, you know, is he really loyal and everything else? And he's on less wages than what I thought he was on, actually.
Yeah.
You know, so, and Francine phoned me, actually, from Paris today. I just got in from hospital, and she said, what's happening with Trent? I said, I just don't know, Francine. I said, I just don't know what's happening. I said, you know, because, and she said, the paper's over there in Paris, where she is. She said that it looks like Trent's going to Real.
Well, the fact is, Frank, none of us know, do we? We don't know.
No,
because basically Trent hasn't said anything. And I can understand that to some degree. I know people can't, but I mean, he's under contract until the end of the year. That's the rules of the game. FSG's made the mistake in my view, and the club in letting this go to the last 6 months of the contract, or even the last year. Should have been tied up a long time ago, but here we are where we are. You know, and I don't expect too many announcements coming from him, because if he said he wants to stay, that reduces any sort of negotiation you might want to have with Liverpool. If he says he wants to go, then Real Madrid will say, well, we'll wait till the end of the season, then you can come for nothing. It's a bit of a mess. I feel at some part I feel sorry for him. You can't win, you can't lose. I mean, he's very much in demand because he's a quality top player, one of the top, if not the top fullback in the world, really, all round. So I mean, he's in a position that we as fans really are in the dark, because we are not hearing nothing other than what you see in the Madrid press, and that's only by the mouthpieces of Madrid. They're the people that come out and spread all sorts of rumours to unsettle things. Yeah. I'm just going to wait now and see what happens, like everybody else has to do. We can expend a lot of hot air getting ourselves all upset and stressed, and I'm interested in winning this Premier League. That's the only thing in my mind at the moment, Frank. And it should be the only thing on Trent's mind. I know it's the only thing on Salah's mind, because he said it a number of times. And I anticipate Salah and Virgil will definitely sign. Can't see any benefit in them going anywhere at all. The money they're on, the esteem in which they're held by Liverpool fans, there's no way they would do any better at this stage. I think Salah, I've said it before, I think the thing with him, possibly with Virgil as well, is the length of the contract, not so much the money. Because, you know, he's already on 350,000 a week. How much? I've said it before. How much do you need? So if they would give him a 3-year contract on the same money or a couple of quid more, I would imagine it's a no-brainer that he should sign it. But he's family in Liverpool. Kids love Liverpool.
He wants to finish. You know, we all know that. We get the vibes that he wants to finish his career here. So does Virgil.
Great records, yeah.
You know, so they want to, and extend their contracts, you know, to two to 3 years.
Yeah.
To the minimum. And, you know, the 3 years at the maximum. And that would be fine for those two.
Yeah.
Virgil and Mo can go on. Someone actually said he could go on until he's 40 years of age.
Well, Ronaldo's still playing now and winning the Saudi Player of the Year. And he's 39. Yeah, I think, you know, it seems very simple to me that Liverpool should just get the pen on the paper with Mo and give him that contract for the 3 years or whatever it is, or 2 years with an extension of a year, you know. Get it done, get them two out of the way, and then they can see what happens with Trent. But we'll have to just wait for Trent, because none of us really know at this stage.
I was just listening to some pod there before, and I was, you know, I was going to comment, and I said, it's not worth commenting.
No.
And they were going on about Edwards leaving, you know, and Klopp. And he came back because Klopp done this wonderful thing by saying, I'm leaving. So he came back. And they never explained. You know, there must have been a reason why Edwards left. And he left Jürgen in the lurch. That's as simple as that.
Probably left because
and then
Klopp was too powerful.
Ward came in. He signed Nunes. That's who he signed. Ward. Then he left. So there must have been reasons. And these people were blaming Klopp. And Klopp is to be blamed for the Trent thing. No. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
I think
the way the blame's going.
It's crazy. Klopp's in no way culpable. Klopp's done everything for Liverpool for 9 years, won everything. He's a legend, always will be. Should leave Klopp alone now to enjoy his retirement and come back anytime he wants to see the club and to, share in the success. He's a very, very honourable man, Jürgen, and he's helped Slot.
Yeah, he's left them with an unbelievable squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
An unbelievable squad. What else? He built he built a team on a shoestring, no matter how you look at it. And he won everything. He won everything. Now, there's Ferguson. He couldn't even rebuild a team. He couldn't rebuild Manchester United. Wenger couldn't even build Arsenal. The Invincibles. He couldn't rebuild them. No one could rebuild. Mourinho couldn't even rebuild Chelsea.
Look how many people have tried to rebuild Man United. None of them.
That's what I'm saying. And, he comes in, wins everything, and he's left a squad. If the likes of, not being funny here, if the likes of Edwards and, the other fellow Wards, wouldn't have come back, I'm convinced that Jürgen Klopp will be here today, managing that team.
You could be right, Frank, we'll never know.
You know what I mean? But, I'm not taking anything away from Sloot at all.
He's done a great job. It's a difficult job. It was not a difficult job, as you say, with the quality of the players he had, but to have a seamless transition, to do what he's done and the team have done. I'll tell you, I'm so proud of this team. What they've done. You and I spoke about this at the start of the season, and neither of us were convinced that we'd be anywhere near. We were hoping top four, weren't we? We thought if we could get to top four, we would do well under Slot. Look where we are now. Bloody hell. 6 points clear with the game in hand.
Top of everything. And you've only got to look, as you said, George, when Sloot came in, no one has heard of him. Let's be honest. Nobody has heard of him.
No.
And he was coming into a league which is far more superior than the Eredivisie league over there in Holland. And anyway, he came here. I wasn't expecting too much. And as you said, all as we were hoping for was a top four finish. Let's hope that we can get into the Champions League. And come Christmas and the New Year, we're top of the league, 8 points clear, game in hand. We're top of the European League as well.
It's unbelievable.
You couldn't ask for anything more.
The other thing, I read in a paper, Frank, I don't know if it's true or not, but one of the reasons he didn't take Amarin as manager was because of a system he plays. And he's implemented that system at United, and it's not been successful. No, whether it's, was it 2-3-4 or whatever, he's got a special way of playing, and the players have to adapt to that. And they've tried to do it. And he said he's not going to change for United. Well, he better change quick, because if he doesn't, they're going down second to the Championship, the way they're playing. Slot seems to have got a similar sort of mindset as Jürgen. Not any extrovert way, Shankly type way that Jürgen used to conduct himself, but more like Paisley, a bit more laid back. He's got them playing nice football, controlled football. But I'll tell you what, they're still there with a high press. I watched Curtis Jones the other day. He's running like a rabbit at the goalkeeper. I mean, they really are running and chasing like mad. And you compare that with United at the weekend. I mean, you got two guys in midfield who are both in their 30s, can't run. Well, we've got energy right through the team, Frank.
We have got energy, and we've got, I reckon, a fantastic, because we gel now. midfield. And Jones has come into his own as well.
Yeah.
So that strengthens it even more. I think we've got a fantastic midfield. I'll just go through a few comments, George, if you don't mind. Callum says, Liverpool 5, Man United 0, Sunday makes our week, and it's time to hammer them. We've been hammered them every time we play them, to be
Don't
honest.
get too far ahead of yourself.
How do we get FSG out before they sell our best players, say Steve?
Forget that, Steve. Forget that. We want to win the league. Forget all about that at the moment.
Yeah. And Callum says, from Paris down to Turkey, we've won the effing lot. Yes.
He's right.
George, there's a question. George, are Trent, Virgil, Salah better players than Reece James, John Stones, and this KDB, that's Kevin De Bruyne, this season? Are they better players?
Yes. Simple for me to say that. Yes.
Yes.
Virgil's the best centre half in the world, in my view.
And he has been
Salah's the best player in the world, in my view.
Season.
And Trent's the best one or two right backs.
And Wakash Ahmed says, hello, Frank, how are you? I have long said, if Liverpool FC want to be competitive in the long term, they need financial backing, and FSG are not the solution to our problems. They need to go ASAP.
Well, the game's all about opinions, but to be honest, I can't understand that because, God, where are we? I mean, we can't be any better at the moment. It's not the time to do that.
No, but what Ahmed's saying, though, George, is that we need financial backing. And I've been saying it for years, to be honest. You've only got to look at Jurgen when he won the league, when he won the Champions League. We were expecting, the financial clout to keep that momentum going. The problem was we brought no one in. We never signed a midfielder for 4 years. The last midfielder that we signed, and he was the last one for 4 years, was Thiago. Yeah. And that's the way people look. They don't look at myself included, by the way. Myself included, so the likes of Ahmed and other people are saying, well, why wasn't there any financial backing? Now, okay, we've said that we still need to buy players this window, January. There's always been. We bought no one in the summer, We brought Chiesa in, and you know what I said about Chiesa.
Yeah, I agree with you as well, yeah. I agree with you.
So where's the financial clout for this season? And I know that we're top of the league and everything. Oh, it's brilliant. But a few injuries and a few, suspensions, it could knock us sideways.
What you're saying is spot on. It's absolutely spot on. But the only thing I'm saying, when I was talking to Steve's question there, is we're not going to get FSG out between now and the end of the season.
No.
Not in a million years. So why are we even worried about it or talking about it? See, it ain't going to happen. So let's just concentrate on, the next 4 months, win everything. And then in the summer, if they don't buy players and we don't build up, then get that bandwagon rolling. But for me at the moment, it's not something I'm really focusing on. That's just personal.
No. To be honest, remember a couple of seasons ago, in the November, and they said we're selling the club. John Henry came out and said we're selling the club.
Yeah.
And I said at the time, George, that's a ploy, that's a spin. Yeah. Because there's no way they'll sell this club.
It's a cash cow.
Exactly. I
said, making money hand over foot, Frank.
I said, at the time, George, I said in January. January's coming. It's only the month before. And I said, that gives them the reason not to buy in the January window. And in the February, they'll come out and say, oh, we're not selling the club now. And I was vindicated. I was right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Never sell the club.
They won't sell the club.
One of the greatest deals in history, Liverpool buying 300 million, now worth about 5 billion.
But as Steve says, I've got to read these out, George. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
FSG allow our best players to leave. It weakens our chances of winning trophies. Cheap broke FSG out. That's what he says. Besides,
Absolutely, got his own opinion. It's good.
Yeah. Frank, George, what contracts would you offer Trent, Virgil, and Salah if you had the choice?
Well,
I'd offer Trent a 4-year deal and a big wage rise. Yeah, he's on 190, I think, a week.
Yeah,
that's what he's on. I thought he was on a lot more than that. So anyway, I'd offer him a big wage rise. I'd give him like 250 to 3. That's what I'd give Trent, because he's coming into his peak. He hasn't hit his peak yet. He's coming into his peak because of his age.
Yeah.
Right? As offered, I wouldn't be worried about Virgil and Mo. I'd just give them a 3 years here.
Absolutely. Give them both. Give them both a 3-year contract. Leave the money with Salah as it is and give him 3 years. And Virgil, same.
And yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And Ahmed says, FSG needs to go very soon. I will say something, Frank. We can hate Abramovich, former Chelsea FC owner. He put his heart and soul into the club. He wasn't bothered about money. That's what we need. I agree with you there, because when Abramovich came, he did put his own heart and soul, and he loved Chelsea. He loved Chelsea Football Club. And he said to his managers, whoever you want, go and buy. Here's the money. That's why Chelsea became so, they became impregnable, to be honest. But that's them. Steve says, FSG Edwards are now trying to disrespect Klopp's legacy. You wouldn't cocoa at LFC by saying Klopp failed to do X, Y, or Z, and that's right. I knew this had come out. I knew it would. I really did, about Edwards. Also, Frank, says Ahmed, I will say Owen, Coutinho, Suarez, McManaman, Torres left. We still had Liverpool FC. No player is bigger than the club. If Trent wants to leave, by all means, we should allow him to go.
I'll tell you what, even if he did go, I don't think it's going to weaken us that much, because Bradley's fantastic and he'd be a fantastic fullback. So, to be honest, it's a bit of it lessens the blow that for me. I don't think Liverpool will be any less effective if Trent left and Bradley took over. I hope he doesn't leave, obviously.
No, look, he's
the best fullback around.
Lad. He's a Liverpool lad.
Yeah, from 6 years of age.
I didn't know that his brother was actually his agent.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Frank, he's been with us since he was about 6 or 7, hasn't he?
Six
growing up with Liverpool, it's part of his heritage. His love for the club. He's a Scouser. He wants to be captain. He lives here. He belongs here. It seems amazing to me that I know Real Madrid's always got this pull, haven't they? They've always got, they think they can buy anybody in the world by snapping their fingers. And, he's got his mate over there from the England team. But it's a different culture, different way of life. And I tell you what, the Real Madrid fans are quite critical, and the press over there are really critical. Look what happened to the lad from Spurs who went over there. I mean, you
only got to look at Michael Owen.
Yeah, look what happened to him. I mean, it's not an easy ride, I'll tell you. So it's up to the lad what he wants to do. But if I was in his shoes, and I'm only very simple ex-player, I would stay at Liverpool. There's nowhere better.
There's nowhere better. Look at Phil Coutinho when he went to Barca. And I forgot that he actually played for Bayern Munich as well. He actually played, because he went out on loan, and he just failed at every other club. And he came out and said it, didn't he?
Yeah, the grass isn't always greener until the two late ones have gone.
Yeah. And look at Gini Wijnaldum as well when he went to PSG.
Yes. Yeah.
But Gini was, he never ran his contract down. He just wouldn't offer him one.
Yeah.
He never offered him one. And he went. You know, he had to go somewhere. And again, you know, he failed as well. Anyway, I'm playing football now that Linders, the fraud, failed to implement in 2022 to 24, says Steve. And Robert Blundell. Should the Premier League award us points because we have FSG and we will never break the PSR rules? Fair play, yeah. We should be offered more points. Never heard that one before.
Good luck with that one.
I know. Steve says, George, you have said that Trent, Virgil and Salah are better players than James, Stones and Kevin De Bruyne. So why ain't FSG paying them the same wages? They have a structure.
Personally, I don't know what they're paying these players. I've no idea. I've never seen the wage slips.
Yeah, I know that they're on more, to be honest. The thing is, you see, Steve, FSG have a wage structure. They have a wage structure for football. It's as simple as that. They have a different wage structure for baseball, like for the Red Sox. The Red Sox are on more money than the players here. So it's the structure. You can't argue.
It's a crazy market in America, Frank. It's the same with the NFL, American football. The money is ridiculous. There's nothing like over here. They're talking multi-millions for big stars over there. It's a different market.
Basketball. That LeBron
Same thing, yeah.
Billionaire him. Basketball. God, blimey. When I was at school, you know, you had the girls playing netball.
You've got to remember as well, Man City's got 115 charges hanging over them. And a lot of clubs are frightened now because of FSP, financial fair play.
135 now.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, maybe they'll get found out about paying people money.
And Steve says, George, have Liverpool FC won the title now? If no, then we need new signings to take us to the title. In May, this squad is too thin.
Yeah, I think the reason we need new signings is because we may have injuries. That's a very valid reason to sign new players because, you know, quality players, they're not just any old player. You know, I mean, they're talking now, I believe, that possibly letting Nunes go, you know, and getting some money in for him, which they can use for Zubamendi or somebody like that, you know. Who knows? It's, again, press talk. You don't know what to believe.
Well, this is it. It's all this ifs and buts and supposition and everything else and speculation. And we're just sitting here. I'll tell you one thing we never come out with, you and I, or, you know, and any other guest on here, and even our lads on here. We never speculate. We never say, you know, he's coming.
No, you can't.
Whereas you have the clickbaits of other pods. You know, more pay, question mark, you know, and so are we signing him, you know? And this is the way it is. This is how they get you to look at their pods. We never do that.
No, you can't tell. You know, what Steve says, have LFC won the title now? Obviously, the answer is no, because football's a funny game and anything can happen. Big leads have been lost in the past. Just got to take, like Slot keeps saying, take every game as it comes. Every game's tough. There's no easy games in the Premier League, right to the bottom team. You can't take anything for granted, to be honest. No, young Callum is saying 5-0 on Saturday. That's not how it works. That's what we wish for. But in the real world, you never know what can happen.
And do you know what? This is
you hope for 5-0.
This is true. I always remember, I'm going back a few seasons ago, and I always remember Man United and Everton were beaten on the same day. And you had some of, you know, this is on Facebook, and they're all having a go at Everton, they're having a go at Man U, they're saying this, they're saying that. And I commented, I said, why are you doing this? You know, this could be a big slap in our face tomorrow, because we were playing on the Sunday, and we ended up getting beat. And it's as simple as that. You know, they're all having a go at the likes of Everton and Man United, and saying this and saying that, and laughing at the Manx and laughing at the Blues.
Well, last year, you may remember last year we beat United. Was it 7-0? Was it last year or the year before? Beat them 7-0 at Anfield. The following week we lost 1-0 to Bournemouth. Lost 1-0 to Bournemouth the following week. That's how unpredictable the Premier League is.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be talking about predictions a bit later on. The match, obviously.
That'll be interesting.
Just get through these. Steve says, George, the real fans are enjoying us being top of the table, but we need new quality signing.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I agree with that, yeah. Definitely.
Totally agree with you, lad.
Yeah.
And it's I'm feeling coming up. And Steve carries on by saying, why can't she broke out LFC, FSG, keep LFC best players and add better players to the squad? Because we're a sell-to-buy club. That's what, as simple as that. That's the model. The unfair. At this point, I agree with Steve. You never walk alone, on every point he said. As for this club, not even this club can recover from 3 big names, maybe leaving for 3. Questions need to be answered. And he's spot on.
Yep.
It's so spot on. But I said, after, I'm talking ages ago, when I said they're bound to be given contracts. They're bound to be. Well, we know Virgil's getting one.
Said that. Yeah.
I said, I'm Trent will. I said, because I'm sorry to say this, George, I really am, but they don't look at the likes of Trent, Virgil, and Mo. They're not interested in football, as you know.
No.
Right, so they look at them above their heads with big dollar signs.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
They look at them. They want resaleable. So that's why they will be given contracts, especially Trent. Because, as I said, he's coming up to his peak. And if Real Madrid wants him next summer, they'll have to pay the big bucks.
That's right. That's what should happen.
I think it will, to be honest. And the unfair law says, now before we was all devastated when Bobby Sadio Fabinho left, but we did recover and become better. What I'm interested to see is, under Klopp, he and his team identified targets. Now it's Hughes. Yeah, Hughes identified Darwin.
Yes.
He identified Darwin. And I always remember a pod saying that this was last year. And when Edwards came back, made up the message he said of directors of football, him and Ward. And he said they identified, get onto this. They identified, this is Edwards, by the way, Alisson, Virgil, and Mo. That's what they said. And I said, comment. I said, no, they didn't. I said it was Jurgen Klopp who identified them.
Of course it was, yeah, of course.
Nobody else. So I don't know, George.
Yeah, but I mean, it's important that you get players in when you're winning, when you're at the top of the league. That's the time. They used to say, in the golf, Xavi Ballesteros, he used to say, when you're playing the Ryder Cup against the Americans, when you've got them down, stand on the neck. So it's the same in football. The likes of Arsenal and Chelsea, you want to stand on the necks and not let them jump above you. So the only way you'll do that is have a quality squad with backup.
Yeah. I'm not going on now, Steve. I'm not going on now about FSG, mate.
I think you made your point well, Steve.
Yeah. And people have agreed with you. We've all agreed. Ahmed says, Frank and George, a quick question. Please name me one club in the European football that has won major silverware without any financial backing. I see none. It's just not possible. Money is the key to success. Absolutely right, Ahmed. You're absolutely 100%.
That's pretty
right.
obvious, isn't it? It's pretty obvious money is the key to success. I mean, you know,
And you've got to have the right manager. You've only got to look at Pep Guardiola. He was buying the best players in the world, giving them stupid wages.
Yeah.
He was bringing them in left, right, and centre, and he didn't win a Champions League with all the better players he had.
That's right, Frank. That's right. That's
he never won it until the season before last. He just couldn't do it. So no matter what, but money does help. You've got to have the right manager in place.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That's why Klopp was so brilliant. He challenged Guardiola all the way. And he's very unlucky not to have 2 more Premier Leagues under his belt by fractions.
I don't know about the Champions League. Yeah, absolutely.
How brilliant he was.
And Steve says, Trent leaves. It weakens our attack options from the back. That is 150-60 yard missile pass from Trent to our attack leads to a goal. Bradley can't do this.
No, he's right. Bradley's not the same type of player. He's not the same type of player.
But he's a great defender.
Yeah.
He's a great defender, is young Conor Bradley.
Well, when he's been playing, we've never lost games, have we? We've never lost any games he's been playing, to my knowledge, maybe the odd one. So it's not weakening the team in that sense.
I'll tell you one thing, George, you're spot on there. Now, here's something. If you go back to when we played Real, and Mbappe had the ball.
Yeah, what a tackle.
He came right in, didn't he? Now, would Trent have ever done that?
No, as I say, they're different players, aren't they? Trent's got, as Steve said, he's got the magic in his boot. He can put the ball 40 yards and fantastic. But he wouldn't be tackling in that manner like Bradley did. So it's 2 different types of the same shadow, I suppose.
You know, we don't want to lose Trent.
We don't want to lose anybody. Nobody at all. Not this season. We're so close now, Frank. There's only 3 months to go. We're 6 points clear. It's ours to lose. Come on, it is. It's ours to lose. Let's get it won. That's all I care about.
And Ahmed says, at the end of the day, Klopp was a human being. He tries and delivers without proper backing. But even he knew, even in the next 10 years, he couldn't go on without a financial backing. It's not possible. You're right. You're right, of course. When FSG sold our best players, they all went on to win trophies at other clubs, while LFC were winning nothing until Klopp came. I understand that. I understand that. And it was, you know, again, it's the manager. It's the quality of the manager that comes in. And the Redbird. I'm here. Bless up, Frank. Happy New Year, George.
Happy New Year, Redbird. Good to hear from you there, man. Good to hear from you.
Absolutely.
And you, man. Look at this.
Yeah, look at that. He's getting all the babies now, look.
You scotches on the end there for me, I think, Frank. No, it's not. It's happy. I can't see happy faces.
No, the Uncle Ross and Redbird loads of babies, look. Not you. Not, I never got any. You didn't get any. Anyway, Steve says, Frank George, local FSG fans are doing the next spend parade in Stanley Park again in May. We're promised every year a war chest. And we were promised last summer a war chest. But we did bring one in. We bought Federico Chiesa.
The wonderful Federico Chiesa. Never mind, he might play on Saturday and score a hat-trick. We'll all get our words.
The Redbird says, Mo and Big Verge will stay. I'm praying Trent will. But I am worried. It's the same with us.
We're all in the same boat there, Redbird. Every fan is.
And Steve says he loves this.
It's getting a bit obsessed there, Steve, I think, you know.
Thank you, George.
Must have some inside information there.
Yeah. 150 million a year on the books. It shows 350 million going out. Make that make sense.
Oh dear.
Unfortunately, economics and it's not my forte, to be honest.
No mind, Frank, I'm afraid. I'm only a footballer.
And Callum, the famous cop out, he says, Morpay is a funny guy. He takes the out of the blue boys. Morpay.
Great for them, didn't he?
You know, whether he comes, I don't know, whether he's coming or he's staying. And anyway, Steve again, if FSG had signed quality centre-back number 6, we would not be running Gravenberch into the ground. Totally agree. And we would have 3 fit centre-backs now to play, not to. Totally agree with you. That's why you mentioned Zubamendi before. You agree with what he says there, don't you, George?
Yes, I do agree with that, yeah.
And Paul saying it, combined the points of United and Everton, we are still in front of them.
That sounds like success to me.
Well, I'd say, you know, it is success.
So we should be shouting about our success.
I'm sorry. That's all. I can't keep up with this. Paul, even doubling United's points couldn't match us.
Yeah. They're a bad side.
Steve, say something different, mate. Oh, please. Please say something different.
FSG don't play the game, do they?
Ask me what I was doing in the hospital today. Something different.
Yeah, I was in visiting my sister-in-law.
Was you up there today, yeah?
I was up there. She's back in again, yeah, sadly. But she won't be in too long. Last time she was in 16 weeks. I think it might be a couple of weeks this time.
I was...
all over Christmas she was in.
I was in up in Broad Green, spinal thing.
Oh, that's where they did my heart bypass, Broad Green. Fantastic. Yeah. 5-way heart bypass 5 years ago.
They had to send a police escort down to me when I had that triple repair aneurysm.
Yeah.
Because the young...
remember that.
There were only a couple of kids, ambulance, and they brought me to the wrong hospital. They tried to diagnose me. They said that I had kidney stones, you know, and I was having a heart attack. And anyway, you know, so that the lad came down, only a young fella, you know, a surgeon, fantastic, you know, came down. And
they're fantastic people, and there they are.
Yeah.
One of the best heart hospitals in the country, you know.
Well, I didn't know that they had a spinal thing as well.
No, I didn't, Frank, no.
Yeah, and they gave me a thorough examination. It's funny, George.
That's where Shankly passed away, isn't it? That's where Shankly died in Broad Green, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was this Irish girl, you know, and she said... I was laughing at this today, you know, when I got home thinking about it. She said, take your shoes, socks off and your trousers. And I went, are you sure? She said, yes. Got to examine you. I said, okay. You know, because it's my leg, you know, my left leg. Yeah. Anyway, I sat there and I was thinking about this. And I went with me, I went with a cap on, you know, a cap. So I'm sitting there. In my shorts with my cap on.
What a sight. What a sight. I wish I'd been there.
Oh, do you know what? I left my glasses as well up there. I put my sunglasses on because of the sun, you know, I get a migraine. So I had my shades on and goes up there. And I had my ordinary glasses. So anyway, gets out the cab, goes in, hobbling on, you know, with my stick. And the next, I was all over the bloody place. Then it ended up in a wheelchair. This girl, she was smashing. she went, get in this wheelchair, you know, you can't be doing it. Anyway, she got me to where I needed to be, and in this wheelchair thing. So I'm sitting there, and people are looking at me, and I realised they had my sunglasses on. Now they're prescription anyway. And I went, right. So I looked at me. I don't know where I left my glasses, and I've lost them. That's why I'm wearing these things tonight. These other ones, you know.
It's funny, when I was having my cancer tumour taken out of my head, they actually, when they were doing the operation, I was still awake. They were doing the operation, they played You Never Walk Alone. I'm on the operating theatre, and one girl's taking the skin graft out of my neck, the other one's cutting my head open. And You Never Walk Alone is on. She played, you'll love this, George. Relax and listen to this.
No way.
Yeah.
No,
So,
isn't that brilliant?
yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. I was in the book.
That's lovely. That's lovely. That's a lovely little.
That's because I was sat on there. They said, "Oh, I believe you played for Liverpool." I said, "Yeah, a long time ago with Bill Shankly." And they went on to Google, and they Googled it, and they saw pictures and things. And oh, look at this! Look at this picture. There was that you? You know. The next minute, the girl said, "Well, we're going to ask you what music you wanted, but we've decided." And he turned this on, and Jerry Marsden came on. When you boys, it was absolutely fantastic. You know, that was in 2019.
Yeah. I was watching a film. I think it was called Cell, with John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, right? So I was watching it, and then at the end, you heard the cop singing "You Never Walk Alone."
Wow, that was fantastic.
You know, it struck me by complete surprise. I'll get onto these comments. Black and white boy. Black and white boy.
Black and white boy.
Yeah. Happy New Year, gentlemen, and everyone in chat.
Happy New Year to you as well.
That's lovely, that. Black and white boy. Black and white boy. Black and white boy. I don't fucking know.
Black and white boy.
Anyway, FSG via Red Sox offers a baseball player 750 million.
Yeah, that's what I say. The money is ridiculous over there. It's way over the top.
So why is
FSG
right. always broke when it comes to a squad investment?
They're not broke. They're not broke.
About 3 years ago now, and they paid out 245 million for a baseball player.
You know,
and that's what gets on people's nerves.
I know. Pretty rounders, isn't it? Playing rounders.
Oh, the red bird. Steve says only fools from our fan base are celebrating our title win in January. Loads of twists and turns now. Absolutely.
Spot on that. Yeah, I agree entirely with that.
And the Red Birds, Happy New Year, one and all. Happy New Year, Red Bird.
Happy New Year, Red Bird. Yeah.
We are top of the table in a position of strength. We need to strengthen to stay top. Over to you, FSG. That's what Steve says.
Yeah, right, Steve. Let's see what happens.
And the Reds are top of the league, and we have no money. Why? Because it's the spirit in your heart, and you'll never walk alone.
And the class of the players we've got on the pitch.
The class of the players.
That's why we're top of the league. Plus the fans.
Look at this. Well, Ali Danush says, Bradley and Gomez. Good evening, by the way. Good evening, Ali.
I'm Romania.
Their fans are not asking for FSG to sign us £100 million players. We are just asking for some squad investment, 40, 50, 60 million pound players.
Yeah.
To take us to more trophies. That's a good shout, that actually.
It is, yeah.
It's a good shout. And Copite says, Frank and George, obviously Gerrard's wanted to play under Jurgen. Do you think he would have retired at Liverpool under Klopp? Yeah.
Well, he wasn't. He would. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he wouldn't have gone anywhere, to be honest, Stevie. And that's why there was no animosity towards Stevie when he left. And it was all because of the Irishman. That's what it was. who was in charge of Liverpool Football Club. Steven Gerrard will always be the legend he is.
He had a chance to go to Chelsea, didn't he, in 2005, was it? And they were trying to get Marino. Who was it then? Chelsea manager wanted to get
Marino,
him.
Yeah.
And Rafa had to chat to him, and the fans were up in arms. And Stevie quite rightly decided to stay. I'm so glad he did. Wouldn't have been the same if he'd left.
No, and he would have ended up not like the legend he is today.
See, you've got to remember, there's something special about Liverpool, Frank. It's something special. It's not an ordinary club. We know that. We've watched them for 60-odd years. We've seen the good times and the bad times. I bet one thing about Liverpool, it's always good times with the supporters. We've always had the best supporters in the country. Don't care what anybody says. And they drive you on to success. When people come to Anfield, they're physically frightened. I'm telling you. They're frightened. You can tell watching them on the pitch. The crowd get to them every time. Every time.
I always remember
against Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when we played Man City and we beat them 3-0 in the Champions League?
Yeah.
And then we went up there and beat them 2-1. I always remember Kyle Walker. And when we beat them 3-0, and it was the day after or whatever it was, and he said, when I walked out, he said, it frightened the roar frightened me, he said.
So what can we do? What can we do?
Exactly. Frank and George, obviously, yeah. Said that. FSG give on a quality centre-back, a number 6. 70, 80 million investment this week. We win the title in April. Over to you. Now, that's what he's saying. And I agree with you, Steve. I agree, but please don't go on about them. Honestly, you know.
I mean, I agree with up to that point, but even investments, I mean, it doesn't guarantee success. It doesn't guarantee it. It makes it more likely, but it doesn't guarantee it.
And Steve says, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Forest in talks to make signings this month. Well, I think
Man City need to.
Yeah, I was just going to, but so do Arsenal. Arsenal haven't got a striker.
Really? They've lost Saka.
Yeah.
That's like us losing Salah.
Yeah.
He's an amazing player, Saka.
See, that's where the problem lies. Man City, they need players. And I think he did something that Jürgen did, actually. And that's, you know, when he kept the likes of Jordan Henderson, that is, Fabinho and Milner. He kept them, didn't he? Because they were buddies. That's all it was. They were buddies. And we could see the decline in them for the season because they were running to the ground. Well, anyway, that's what the other fella, that's what Pep's done.
Absolutely. I'm going to say that, Frank. He's culpable. He's responsible because he has not seen the decline of this team. He's not seen it coming. And he's stuck with the guys. People like De Bruyne, world-class player, fantastic. But he's slightly now just gone off the boil. You've got Walker at right back. He's playing like a championship player. You know, you've got other people being injured. And you've got people like Grealish, 100 million. He's not even playing.
No.
You know, it's a crazy situation. And, you know, Pep needs to take some. I know he's been great and he's had great success, but in the moment, he's manager and he needs to own it because that team are over the hill as they stand at the moment. I watched them against Leicester. They were so lucky that they didn't lose that game against Leicester. I mean, Haaland's running around like he's not getting the service he was getting before. And so it's become harder all through the team. Not worried about Man City or talking about them, but it's a classic example of a team slowly going into decline and needs investment.
There's a question for me and you, George, because we're the old school. Right. And it's from Steve. He says, Frank, George, if you could add one of these great players to our squad in their prime, who would you choose?
Well, it's easy for me.
Suarez, Steven Gerrard, or Souness.
I don't know about you, Frank. That's easy for me. For me, it would be Suarez and Stevie G. You might disagree, but that would be my choice.
No, I agree with you because he's a sly mooch, you know, because you heard of when he asked the same. He said about Torres and Suarez.
Suarez was just incredible.
I was praising El Nino was fantastic.
He was brilliant as well, but of the two of them, I mean, to me, Suarez was the better.
That's who I picked, Suarez. But as for Steven Gerrard and Souness was a great.
Yeah, he's a fantastic
unbelievable, player. You know.
That's why I hate these questions. I get these questions. What is your greatest Liverpool team? Which players from the 60s would you put in? You can't choose. There's too many. I mean, in the last chapter of my book, I talk about players, and it's almost a page of names that I've watched over the years. And you can pick any of them: Fowler, McManaman, McDermott, Souness, Hansen, Lawrence, and Dalglish. You could go on forever. Peter Thompson, Roger Hunt, Ian Callaghan. And I could sit here and talk for about half an hour just naming players. Every one of them a legend. No other clubs.
Well, do you know you saying that? Whether these will agree with me here, I don't know. And it's whether you'll agree with me as well. And I'm going to say, Jordan Henderson was the luckiest captain ever to captain Liverpool because he won every conceivable medal that you could win in football, right? For a club, that is, not a World Cup winners medal like Roger. But now here's the thing. I said, when you look at, you mentioned Alan Hansen, captain Liverpool, Souness, captain Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you go right through. Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
Narrowly missed out on was the Premiership. Now, they were far better captains than this Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
And
he played a good. He was a good player, Henderson. He was a good player, but he wasn't a great player. He was a good player, but whether he was a great captain, you can't take away the fact he won a lot of stuff with Liverpool. Same with Phil Neal. Phil Neal won everything.
But I'm not saying that, George. What I'm saying is, there was other captains who never won as many medals as him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The lot, that's all I'm saying. Like Steven Gerrard not winning the Premiership.
I mean, even Phil Neal is a most decorated player in English football history. But I mean, he was a great fullback, but he wasn't a fantastic fullback. He was a fullback who just did a simple job. He passed the ball to a red man, got it back, passed it again, took penalty as well. Never missed a penalty. Chris Lawler scored a lot more goals. Well, scored as many goals, I would imagine, as Phil Neal. He never took a penalty.
Yeah,
from right back.
No, he scored more actually. He scored more than Phil Neal.
48 goals from right back. Missed 2 games in 7 seasons. You never get that now. And bad conditions as well. Muddy pitches and hectic tacklers. People used to tackle properly in those days, not like now. You get people rolling around the ground with slippers on.
Oh, no. I don't like when players go down, holds in the face, and they get a little knock in the shin. That is cheating. Paul Turner says John Terry said the same about Anfield in the Champions League semi-final in 2005. The crowd got to him, and Chelsea, he's never experienced an atmosphere like that ever. Yeah. They all say that, though, don't they?
Well, do you remember that game? It was the last season when we played Arsenal, and we were struggling a little bit, and then Trent had that bust-up with one of the Arsenal players in front of the stand, and the bloody place erupted, and the whole game changed.
There's another question, George, and it's a horrible one. If you could choose in their prime to add to this squad, Emlyn Hughes or Alan Hansen.
Well, it's a difficult one, that really.
Yeah,
I think
you know,
I'm going to bring my favoritism now out of this. I'm going for Hansen.
I think that's because
Not because he was Scottish.
that's biasness. Now. Do you know what? I'm not gonna answer that because I loved Emlyn,
Yeah,
Crazy
he gave
Horse.
the effort, didn't he? Crazy
I
Horse.
loved them. But when you look at the two different players, George, two different
Completely.
players, two different captains,
Yes.
and Emlyn was more like a Crazy Horse, whereas the likes of Alan Hansen was super cool.
Silky skills. Yeah.
Oh,
Coming through from the back.
like an ice skater. Unbelievable.
I'd have both of them in the squad.
Just let me get
I'd have both of them in the squad, Frank. And funny enough, Hughes never really got on with Tommy Smith. It was quite astounding, that really. They got on all right on the pitch, but off the pitch they never really hit it off.
No. That's mad, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yet they were, like congratulating one another.
They never took it on the pitch. I mean, you got to admire them for that, but everybody can't get on with everybody else. There's a lot of competition in the squad.
Yeah, it was like Kenny and Ian Rush. And look at those two together, right? And yet they never went out for a pint together. They never met afterwards,
That's right, yeah, I know.
That's absolutely crazy. But, their little Steve's a case, isn't he? Calling out these horrible things to us. We're only human, Steve. And the vlogs, hello guys, feels weird not having another game for a full week. We're so used to a game every 3 days, 3 points against United. Canate and Bradley back soon, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I just don't
Canate.
We need Canate back for the
Definitely.
weekend.
Look at the better, yeah.
We have to have him back. I hope so, anyway. And Steve says, if you talk about our previous captains, you will struggle to mention Endo in your top 5. That's right, lads.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before.
Probably right, yeah.
And
The played a bit too long as well.
The vlog says, what do you think LFC will do, Frank? If Trent won't sign, sell him on a pre-contract this month for 20 to 25, so we at least get something for him, or up his stupid wages to sell his earnings. Don't deserve it. Now look what he's saying. He doesn't deserve sellers' wages.
They won't do that. No way. They won't do that.
I agree there. I agree what the blog says. But, you've got to give him what he's worth. And I'd say he's worth, I'd say between 250, 275. Just give him that.
Yeah.
Give him a 4-year deal, 5-year deal, whatever it is, because he will become Liverpool captain.
Yeah.
But I've noticed his attitude. I watch, I love watching it actually. Inside Anfield.
Inside Anfield, I watched that, yeah. It's good.
No, you see the lads walking in and they go like that to the when the camera's there. Inside,
yeah, that's right. Some of them do.
They're going into the dressing room. And you just see, they're like that, everyone, doing that and letting on, winking, whatever. And you see Trent and he never looks at the camera and he's just like...
Yeah, I know. They're walking with the big earphones on.
Exactly, like an attitude, so just be like the rest of them, please. The Redbird, today's fans think you have to win lots of trophies to be classed as a top player. They seem to forget no player can win anything without his teammates. Steven Gerrard is the most complete midfielder ever, 100%. You're not the
Yeah.
only one who said that. George has said it. I've said it.
Agree with that.
And Zinedine Zidane said it.
And that was Shankly's mantra: teammates. You can't play without your teammates. It's a team game. Yes, you've got 2 or 3 superstars, but they can't perform without the guys giving them the ball and working in defence for them, creating the chances. Same with Salah. Salah doesn't win the Ballon d'Or, but it's not a bit fair on Salah because internationally he hasn't got the same exposure playing for Egypt as somebody, say, playing for Germany, France, or one of the big teams that play in the World Cup, where he's making his name in the Premier League, really. So that's why some of these other players play for Spain and they play for Real Madrid. They get more exposure in a way to that.
Just imagine, absolutely, just imagine. It was like Ian Rush. No disrespect to Wales, no disrespect to them. Now, if Ian Rush was playing for England,
yes,
well, he should have been playing for England, but he thought that he'd stand no chance of getting in the England squad, as you know. So he decided to take that nationality of Welsh.
He lived in Flint, yeah.
And it was a shame, really, because he was being bigger, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion, than Trevor Broken or any of them.
He'd have been as big as Shearer, wouldn't he?
Yeah, bigger than him. Yeah. Ian Rush was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Look at his record. Look at the goals he scored. It's ridiculous. He's still about 120 goals out of Salah now.
And you can't talk about, you can't have a pod without talking about Mo Salah and what Mo Salah has achieved and is achieving.
He's incredible.
Because he's only got to score another goal, that'll be another record because he'll overtake Thierry Henry.
I don't think I've ever seen a more consistent goal scorer. He's not even a striker, is he? He's a winger.
Yeah, that's another thing. He's a winger. He's a bloody winger. And that was a cracking shout by Redbird there. I'm going to kick this fella's head in when I see him. Steve Highway and John Barnes. Who would you be picking, lads? That's Barnes, isn't it?
I love Steve Highway, but for me, it's got to be John Barnes.
It's got to be John Barnes.
He was incredible.
An incredible player. Incredible.
So was Highway, by the way.
Oh, Stevie. There's a song, isn't there? Stevie Highway on the wing.
Yeah, he's there forever.
Paul says, Paul Turner, in my opinion, Emily News and Steven Gerrard were similar in the way they played. That's
Well, I think Steve was more all round, wasn't he? Headed the goals, range shots, short shots. He's a more rounded player than Emlyn, I think.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. See, Steven Gerrard, he could play right back, which he had played right back, He could play anywhere, Steven Gerrard. And he was the all-round player, as the Redbird said.
Well, I always judge Steve Gerrard like, Frank, I always say, if a player's going to make it big, they've got to have a good debut. They've got to come in as a young player and light the place up. Then you got like Rooney did at Everton when he scored at 15 years of age against Arsenal. And then Gerrard came on. He's a kid, wanting to be a short haircut, and he scored a fantastic goal. And I thought right there and then, this guy's, look at the energy, look at the skill, look at the style, the way he dropped his shoulder and beat the guy and banged in the corner. And he never stopped scoring. And his goals are all brilliant. You look on YouTube and you see highlights of Stevie's goals. They're incredible. From outside.
That one, I was in the cup that day. Remember when he hit it against Man United?
Yeah.
And I was in the cup when John Arisa scored, that free kick.
Oh, yeah, I was there, yeah. I was at all these games. Unbelievable.
I remember this fella standing next to me, And I used to watch the tennis as well. And the fella went, I never had a clue who he was. And he went, did you ever see that Roscoe Tanner play? I went, yeah, the big server. And he went, yeah. That was a shot. 110 mile an hour. Said he hit it.
Yeah,
That was
incredible.
faster. That was faster. You know, that is.
What a free kick. And Olympiacos goal as well. Olympiacos goal for Gerard. That was pretty. Took us from nowhere last minute. Put us into the next round.
That was incredible.
Wasn't it where he hit it? You know, away from the keeper.
That was incredible. I'll tell you another brilliant goal. I was by Fernando. I think I mentioned this to you before, George. And it was by Fernando Torres. And the ball came over, and I think it's yesterday. It was against Blackburn. And he was on the edge, you know, of the 18-yard box. He wasn't inside the 18-yard box. He was on the edge of it. And he turned, you know, on the corner of it, that is, you know, so he's at a difficult angle. And anyway, he turned and he volleyed it right in the corner.
Yeah.
It was the goal.
Wonderful
Jeez.
player.
Great player.
Oh, Nino.
The vlogs. Oh, I hope all is well, Frank. Seeing you went to the hospital today. Yeah, you know, it's my mobility, and I've always had problems with my spinal cord, and so I've had a thorough examination with my capo. And the examiner, I've got to go back, you know, they're going to sort things out for me, hopefully, you know, so that was it. So, Eddie, I'm talking to George and you lot.
Yeah. We've had lots of money spent on us in hospitals, Frank, haven't we?
Yeah.
Still here. We're still here, boy.
Still here, yeah. Talking football, and Steve said to us, who's the best? Was you rather have Barnes or God blimey. Anyway, Ali Denise. Hey guys, you have enough experience. Tell me, please, which country in history had the best talents, best footballers? For me, it's Italy. Sorry for off topic. No, it's not off topic. I think it's only like what Steve's saying. You know,
I would say Scotland. No, I'm only kidding, obviously.
Just imagine putting it. You'd love to put, like, you know, the likes of Dennis Law.
We did have some good players, to be fair.
You know, all these wonderful players together, you know, from different teams.
Well, if you could do that, you'd have some team. Yeah, you would.
You'd have some team. You'd have some team there.
Italy's a good shout. Brazil, obviously.
Do you ever remember a fella by the name of Bobby Murdoch?
Oh, yes, Celtic. Yes.
No, honestly, you know, like, you know, during the summer season, I used to go down to Torquay and got in with these Glasgow lads, funny lads, you know, just like us. And they were always singing, "Feed the bear, feed the bear."
Yeah.
So what's that? Bobby Murdoch, you know, feed the bear.
Well, he was one of the Lisbon Lions who won the European Cup for the first time ever. British team in 1967. They beat, who was it they beat? Can't remember who they beat, but Milan, I think.
It was Inter Milan.
Inter Milan, yeah.
Inter Milan.
Fantastic goal by Big Gemmell, fullback. Free kick. That was the first British team to win the European Cup, and then Shankly phoned up Jock Stein. He said, "John, you're immortal."
Isn't that lovely, you know, because, you know, you had Jock Stein, didn't you?
Yeah, big Jock. Yeah. Fantastic.
You know, so they had great respect for each other.
Passed away on the bench, didn't he? He died on the bench watching Celtic. Heart attack.
They had great respect for each other, Jock Stein and
Shanks.
Wonderful Shanks. Ali the Noose. No, that was a cracker. I've always followed the Azzurri, Italy. I've always followed them. and we have won the cup like 3 times. The
One I remember is Scalacci. Scalacci, remember him?
Scalacci Cup.
His name was all over the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah,
1990 World Cup, wasn't it?
I remember the 96 Euro up here at Anfield, and me going, supporting Italy, the Azzurri. But the best team, in my opinion, ever is the Brazilian team.
Yes, yes.
They were incredible.
1970.
From the likes of Pele and
Rivellino.
Oh, get into you. Even going back further. Then you had, with the Rivellino and with the Pele still playing for them, incredible. I think it was the 70 World Cup when they beat Italy.
Yeah.
4-0. Well, and Italy were a great side then as well. Great side. And I always remember that save, Gordon Banks. Do you ever remember that save from Pele, Gordon Banks?
Oh, yeah, the header. Yeah, the header down near the post.
Save I've ever seen in the world.
Yeah, it was a fantastic save. That I was in Mexico, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mexico. Yeah.
Sea level. Yeah.
Mexico. No, that was a cracking question, that, Ali. Good question, that.
Who was the Italian lad that missed the penalty in the final, put over the bar? In the World Cup final. Very good-looking lad, dark hair, big idol in Italy, and he missed the penalty in the penalty shootout in the final.
Yeah, I'll tell you who it was, Roberto Di Baggio.
That's the one, Di Baggio, yeah, that's right, yeah. He was devastated when because he was a great player in that World Cup series. He scored quite a lot of goals, but he missed that vital penalty, put over the bar.
He was sick. There was a lad who scored an own goal for Colombia. I forget his name.
And he shot him. Yeah, fullback. Yeah.
Just imagine if Roberto would have been playing for Colombia and doing that.
It's unbelievable.
He would have been blown up in the car or so. Steve, Tomo or Loro? I'm going for the Scouser, Thompson, Phil Tomo. One of the most underrated captains, by the way. And players, he's a brilliant player.
Wonderful. Consistent.
Yeah.
He loved the club, didn't he? Still does.
The Red 25 watching, 13 likes. The number ain't matching. Come on, hit the like down. Yeah, hit that down like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe, lads. Doesn't cost nothing.
And the Redbird says Lawrence, Laro, Lawrence and Defo.
Well, they were a great partnership, Lawrence and Hansen. They were a fantastic partnership in the defence in that period.
Yeah, absolutely. And Steve says Zidane and Steven Gerrard better than him, and he's the best player in the world at the time. Zidane told me they did.
I think so.
But he turned the
best midfielder anyway.
Yes. Happy New Year, everyone, says Christopher. Do you think Ian Rush's records will ever be beat? No.
No. Just as Ian Callaghan's record won't be beaten for the number of appearances.
No. I always remember Jamie Carragher. Was it Jamie? And anyway, was Stevie, I don't know. And mentioned about, do you think you'll be able to overhaul Ian Kelly's records, playing? I haven't got the legs now, never mind.
17 years and he was hardly out of the team. Come on.
Incredible.
Legend.
England wants English players, says the Redbird, to do well. Spain wants Spanish players to do well, etc., etc. Yeah. But that's why Italy are on the wane. And, they actually said it's because of the foreign imports.
Yeah.
We've been neglecting the grassroots kids. That's what they said. And it'll take a long time for us to get back up there.
Yeah, in the old days, the international teams were made up of players from that country.
Yes.
In my day, there were no foreign players. I think we had one black player, Albert Johansson, Leeds. He was the only one in the whole of the First Division.
Steve says, if Man United to get points deduction for breaking PSR rules, Man United will be in the bottom 3.
Yeah, they're all being very careful about the financial fair play rules.
Yeah.
They have to be.
We can spend, I believe we can spend up to like 250 million, which is nuts.
Yeah, we've kept well within those rules, so we should have plenty of money to spend.
But someone mentioned about it being there 250 million. We can afford.
United have to sell players like some of those guys have signed in. They've signed some terrible players.
Yeah. As long as Mbappe doesn't get, mentioned about this window here, just as long as he doesn't get mentioned. Anyway, that says, Happy New Year. No one will beat Russia's record. Steve Nicol, the ultimate Mr. Reliable, plays in any position and made it look like he played there all his career. That's a good show, that, actually. Stevie Nicol. He never gets mentioned.
Yeah.
Stevie, that facts on paper, Twitter talk about Scum United. Yeah. I'm not going. Callum, he's getting into the Russia or Little.
Well, Billy Liddell was Liverpool, wasn't he? He's a legend.
Liverpool, he was a legend, but I'm sorry, I've seen Rush in his prime, and I'm sorry, it has to be Ian Rush.
Yeah, because Liddell was in the 50s, wasn't he? He's back in the 50s, and nobody around now really can remember. You've got to be. Well, I mean, you've got to be quite elderly, even older than me, I think, to remember Billy Liddell in his prime.
Appreciate Billy Liddell. But you know what? What I do know about Billy Liddell, he was we were in the second division, and he was picked for the Wales 11 twice.
Twice, yes, that's right. Played at Hampden.
Wales 11.
That's right. It shows how good he was.
Tom Finney had great words for him as well, Tom
Finney. He's a leading goal scorer for Liverpool in 6 consecutive seasons.
See,
Do you know another fact I had the other week, Frank? You might not, the boys might not know this, but since Shankly came to Liverpool, that's in 1960, whatever it is, Liverpool have never finished below 8th in the top league.
Really?
Yeah. Never finished below 8th in the First Division or the Premier League since Shankly came here. Ask a lass to check it out.
Well, to know that.
That's incredible, isn't it? That's an incredible record.
It is. It is incredible. It is. I hope that answers your thing there, Copite. The vlogs. I remember Reset having a power shot from the halfway line, and I'm sure it was against Chelsea, but the referee blew. Yeah, he did. I tell you who it was against. I tell you who it was against. It was against Arsenal, because we played them in the Champions League, and that was in the Road upper stand. And he hit it. We was 4-2 up at the time. Babel had just scored. And he hit it. And the ball was going over, and that, what was his name? Whoever their goalie was at the time, forget his name. And he put it over. He put it over the bar. But the referee then blew, for full time. That was
Billy Liddell did the same. Billy Liddell did the same thing, Frank. Billy Liddell scored a fantastic 30-yard goal, and the referee blew the whistle as the ball was on its way into the net.
Wasn't that in the cup game?
Yeah.
Was that cup game?
Yeah. Yeah, a fantastic goal apparently, and it went flying into the top of the net, and the referee blew when the ball was halfway from his boot to the net, and the goal was disallowed.
And you know, today that has to be played, if you know what I mean. The referee can't blow, and that's why. Who was it against? It was only the other week. Gapco. He was away with the ball, and he was at the side of the area, and the referee blew.
Yes, blew. Yeah.
And it was the first time that ref, he's only been promoted because of that Coote fella. And first time he didn't be in at Anfield. And he blew, and Gapco went, hang on a minute. You know,
but
he was away with the ball.
We got the benefit, the same thing in Newcastle this year.
Yeah.
The last minute in Newcastle, they were through 4-on-2, and the referee blew. Thank God.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a cracker, that.
Yeah.
And the cop, I'd say, sorted your knee out yet? Everything's wrong with me. Callum, everything.
As long as Frank can talk, he's all right.
Oh, no. Can't find the video clips of it, says the vlogs. You know, that's about that shot. That was against, it wasn't Chelsea, honestly. It was, I'll never forget it. It was against, have a look, you know, you'll be able to get it on YouTube. Just have a look.
Is that the Risa one? Is that the Risa one you're talking about?
Yeah, the Risa one, yeah. Just have a look. It was the Champions League when he hit it. To laugh at it. The Redbird says, prime rushy for me because I didn't get to see the great Billy Liddell.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's it, Redbird, you know, I think we...
Hey, Redbird, I scored a goal from a cross by Billy Liddell.
Do you know what? Stevie says, I was talking about that goal. Torres' great goal against Blackburn was similar to Van Basten against Russia in the World Cup. You're right there. You're so right. But the other fella, Torres, he was further out than Van Basten. He was further out, but it was very similar, like the chest, the turn, and bang, goal. Scottish whiskey rank #1 says Harry the Noose. George would totally agree there, 100%.
#1 there, okay.
Yeah, I think Roger Hunt or Nunes, come on.
Roger Hunt.
Roger.
By a million miles.
Roger. Yeah, that Romario was a great player, wasn't he, for Italy? Yes. I'm sorry, for Brazil. Ali Danouche says, love to learn more about football icons. For me, AC Milan 2000 was the best team I have ever seen playing. Full of great players.
And that team that played Liverpool in the 2005 European final, that was a great team.
That was
the way they played in the first half was incredible.
That was unbelievable, that team.
Yeah.
You know, I always remember I was reading a couple of weeks before we went over, and I was reading about Kaká, you know, the young Brazilian lad.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And fucking hell, we've got a Maldini, Nesta, you know, you know, blimey. And it was just going through the team. And Crespo. I thought he was fantastic. He was on loan.
And a big Russian centre forward.
Yeah.
Shevchenko, yeah. Goal machine.
Blimey, you know, we're going to face these.
We had Jamie Traore.
And you know what? Like,
he kicked one off the line, saved us.
I was just going to say, he gave the free kick away when they scored within 3 seconds of the kick-off. And when Maldini scored, and yet he saved us with that kick off the line.
Yeah. It's a remarkable win, that. Remarkable. I'll never forget it. To be there was a privilege, wasn't it?
He said I'd have kissed him. Oh, he kissed Judy. Do you know what he said?
Yeah. Them two saves.
So Baggio, George, that's what I, you know, when you were talking about the penalty.
Told me.
Yeah, but we got that though, didn't we? We got that.
Superstar.
Yeah, Steve says there, Shanks, Busby, Stein were decades ahead of other managers. Would you agree with that?
I would, at the time, yeah. I always said Shankly and Paisley and Joe Fagan and the others I played with, they were ahead of their time in their training methods. I mean, they were fantastic. They had so much things other people weren't doing when they built that team. It was a joy to be part of it.
Paul Taylor says Ajax with Cruyff were a great side.
Yeah, he was a great player. He was a great player.
No, I was trying to well, you know, when it was talking about Hansen, I said he was like a skater. And the Redbird says, I love the way Hansen glides on the pitch.
Very.
So that was similar to what I said.
Yes, I agree as well. That's how he was. When he brought the ball through from the back, go past 3 or 4 players, used to be great.
Christopher, I hope I never see you in my lifetime.
I
would concentrate on Torben Peak. Only joking. I actually thought Torben was a good signing at the time. Torben Picnic, yeah.
Torben Picnic.
Torben.
Yeah, we have had 1 or 2, shall we say, less than perfect.
You're very gentlemanly with your words. You know.
Yeah.
You're very understanding with your words.
My grandson was telling me, Frank, my grandson was telling me at the weekend when Christmas Day, he said, I've seen you on a podcast, Grandad. It's not this one. It wasn't a podcast. It was an interview on the Football Historian podcast. And I was asked about teams, just as they've been asking me that, you're asking us tonight, Barnes or Highway, Hunt or Dalglish. And I went through, and out of the team, I'd picked about 6 from the 60s, you know. And this guy wrote and he said, are you on medication, mate? Oh, dear. I said, well, I'm only being loyal to my colleagues. The only one I put Virgil van Dijk ahead of Ron Yates. I'll tell you what my team was. You love this, Lawrence or Clements, and I put Lawrence because I was advertising his book, you know. And then right back was Chris Lawler or Phil Neal. I said Chris Lawler. Left back with Jerry Byrne or I forget, and I said Jerry Byrne. And then Tommy Smith or whatever. And I said Tommy Smith. And then Yates or Virgil. I said Virgil. And then left in the midfield. Then I think I put Billy Stevenson in. And then I had to put Callie in. So Callaghan went on the right. Callaghan or Thala. Callaghan. I was being a bit devil's advocate, you know.
Well, that's you know, it's impossible to put like. Look at Roger Hunt.
Yeah,
World Cup winner.
Yeah, that's
some
what I mean.
of the goals he scored for us.
And how could you leave Callaghan out? 847 appearances for 17 years, European Cups and all. So I mean, so it was a different. Peter Thompson, I put him in. So I think there was only about 4 in the current team.
I've seen Peter Thompson, George.
Yeah.
I've seen. It was like watching you know, like
incredible.
I mentioned, didn't I, Jimmy Johnson once, you know. Yes. And I thought he was a great player, unbelievable, little Scottish wizard, unbelievable player. And I tried to say about Doak, who reminded me of him, young Doak reminded me of Jimmy Johnson. Now, when you look at those, the likes of Jimmy Johnson, likes of him, And you come back, to the English players, and people are saying, well, and Roger Hunt never gets a mention.
That's right, yeah, he's good.
Never gets mentioned.
280 goals for Liverpool.
He was
World Cup winner.
incredible.
How can you leave him out?
Can't leave him out.
That's difficult, to pick best players.
Look, the Red Bears, he's having a go at Steve. Steve, you're doing me here, Tim. It's hard to pick between one player and another.
He's doing our head in.
Man.
Trying to choose.
And as he's 66, hey guys, my favourite player when I was younger was.
Now you're talking, yeah. Now you're talking.
Can you remember that goal against Spit?
Yeah, we always talk about that, don't we?
Mentions it loads of times. When he was out on the right and he was on between the wing and the 18-yard box. And he chested it, ties it, and hits it.
Well, I remember watching Aberdeen against my two old clubs, Aberdeen and Liverpool, playing each other in the European Cup in 1980. And the first leg was at Pittodrie, Aberdeen's ground. And McDermott scored the only goal. And what a goal it was. Dalglish split the defence, ball came across to Terry McDermott on the left-hand side of the penalty box. He went away from the goal and with his left foot, chipped Bobby Clark, the goalkeeper, right in the corner. Full house at Aberdeen. First 5 minutes, 1-0 up. Aberdeen fans were devastated. And all my family were there. And I was in the Aberdeen end, although I was supporting Liverpool. And then we won, I think Liverpool won 4-1 or something. Ferguson was a manager.
Yeah, Ferguson was a manager, yeah.
And we battered them at Anfield. But it was a tough game at Aberdeen. We were lucky to get away with a win there.
But then again...
Max scored a great goal.
But then again, do you ever remember the goal he scored against Everton in the cup match, semi-final?
Yeah, chipped.
He stopped it, turned, and just chipped it. That was an incredible...
Tremendous player, Terry.
Oh, I loved Terry McDermott. Loved him. One of them. He'll always go in my midfield when I'm picking a team.
Yeah.
When I'm picking a midfield, he's always in it.
Yeah, so he's good to mention now as well. Terrible.
So yeah, I do remember that, mate, very well. I was there actually. I was down there. Went to town in a mini car. One of those minis. About 9 of us in it.
What the hell?
Terrible, wasn't it?
9 in a mini.
King Kenny all day, every day.
Yeah. Can't deny that. What a player.
Oh, look at that. Steve, St. John or Firmino?
See, that's the questions I was getting, and it's so difficult because the younger lads won't remember St. John. They won't remember his skill and his fame and how he was revered by the fans here. But yet they'll remember Firmino. So it's difficult, really. A young lad will say Firmino, and maybe one of the older boys will say St. John.
I'd say St. John.
They were both brilliant, but Ian St. John was a fantastic man and a tremendous player.
Unbelievable player.
Him and Yates turned the club round.
Yeah.
Which thanks to them two really more than anybody.
And Tommy Lawrence.
Yes, in goals. Yeah. Tommy, Ronnie and Ian.
They're fantastic. I remember Shankly, he said to Tommy, didn't he? If the ball's coming out, he said, and it's not going in the area, just boot it anyway. And he became the sweeper, the goalie sweeper.
That's the name of his book.
Yeah.
It was written for him by Peter Kenny Jones.
Fantastic keeper. It was Tommy Lawrence. Ian Mack. Evening. All this current Liverpool team reminds me of Kenny's title-winning sides of the mid to late 80s. Control and play. Solid and threats from all areas up top. Great to see. Up the ends. Well, that was a nice...
That's a great point.
It is, isn't it? And he's right. He's so right. Controlling the game.
They are.
Controlling the game. And the Redbirds, We've had some brilliant players and still have. Absolutely. That's a cracking. Those last two comments are fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it's so right for Wayne and the Redbird. And when you look at what the players we have now, George.
Yeah, the goals come from everywhere.
Yeah, you mentioned the Verge. We've got the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah. Look how Gakpo's came on. Look how Gakpo's improved.
Oh,
every time he gets a ball, he looks like he's going to score or lay a goal on.
Yeah, and Gravenberch.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
You know, great players. Mo, Mo gets that. Yeah. Mo. Even the Jot, when he came on, he got goal. Been out for about 3 years, comes back goal, so it's just for Diaz. Look at the way Diaz has been playing this season.
Yeah, he's been fantastic as well, yeah. Fantastic.
I think he's a good false nine.
He's good playing centre forward, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a false nine. He's taking over Firmino. Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible what we've got, them forwards. So you're right there, Redbird. Absolutely spot on. I'm not getting there. Stay, I'm sorry. The blogs are Arsenal. No wonder I can't find a clip of it. Arsenal. Okay. Redbird. No, have a look at vlogs. It was the quarter final in the Champions League. That's what it was. And he hit it. And half hit it from the halfway line. Have a look at it. You get it on YouTube. Quarter final. The Redbirds are sort of
Alonso scored from the halfway line against Norwich. No, Luton Town.
Luton at what? Well, he scored two, didn't he, like that?
Yeah.
Newcastle.
That's right, yeah.
It was in the cup. It was in the cup. And the ball came.
Yes, straight over the goalkeeper.
And the goalkeeper, I always remember him slipping because he didn't expect Alonso to, and then he tried to scurry back and slipped. And the ball
didn't get there. It's great to see that.
It's hard really to pick who's the best player from different generations.
It is, yeah, it is.
Now, here's a good one from our Steve here. Look, Steve. Clemens or Ali?
Well, Clemo was there a long time, wasn't he? He's there a long time.
No, the thing is,
one of them questions is almost impossible to answer.
Well, I said this the other week, actually. I said this. I always said that, because I said, I loved Tommy Lawrence. I said, but when Ray Clemens took over his mantle, he became the best Liverpool keeper ever until we signed Alisson. So I'm sticking with that. It'll have to be Ali.
Yeah, he's the best in the world, isn't he? In the modern generation.
Incredible keeper. I think, people forget as well, George, that save against Napoli.
Yes.
And we went on to win the European Cup. We went on to win.
That's how valuable the goalkeeper is, how he proves his worth. And the goal he scored with his head against West Brom.
Oh.
Took us into the top four.
Incredible. Albeit the likes of Clem made he made a save from Franny Lee. And Franny Lee was there and he just volleyed it. And he said, even Franny Lee was talking about it. He said, and all of a sudden, I've just seen a figure going up and putting us out for the corner. He said, how we got it? He said, think about it. I always thought about it. He said, I'm thinking about it now. And he was in an interview, you know, very well retired. He said that was the most remarkable save ever, you know.
Yeah, it was
So
brilliant.
funny enough, he was talking about goalkeepers saving. And,
He'd have had a lot more caps for England as well if it wasn't for the other fella, Shilton.
but he was better than Shilton. This is what we used to
That's
say.
what annoyed me. He should have been in the England team
All
more
the
than he
time.
did. He'd have kept picking Shilton.
Yeah.
I forget who the manager was of England then.
Well, whoever it was a
There
phone.
were that many.
Yeah. I wish I had the pleasure of watching Billy Little, George.
Yeah. I mean, he's a lovely man as well. I knew him, but I mean, he used to come up to the club. He was revered by everybody.
Yeah. And Zia, hiya Zia. Jimmy Traore, how?
Remember, he played at Burnley once and scored an own goal.
Absolutely. The 05 Milan was the best team I've seen, says Edward.
That 45 minutes was one of the best performances I've ever seen in 45 minutes. We still beat them.
Still beat them. Incredible. Zia says, Frank, would you say that Anson was only ever replaced by Virgil? That's a long time between the two. Was you saying that Anson was only ever replaced by Virgil? No, I never said that. We were talking about, you know, who's better than who and whatever, because they were some of the questions. And it has to be Virgil who was better than him. If Virgil never replaced Anson, you know, there's been a lot more replaced then after the Jockey left. Shut off, Steve. I'm not mentioning Dufos Shorten to Hussein Ali Dagan.
Hussein Ali Dagan. It's a nice name,
isn't it?
Nice to hear from him. Hussein.
Brighton will make Arsenal humble. Yeah.
Hopefully, that would be good. That's what we need, isn't it?
Some great names coming on today. Ali Danouche. This year we look unbeatable, but we need new signings in the summer. Let's not forget, Virgil and Salah have 6 months left. Alisson 1 year and a half, and all three are above 33 years old at the time.
Yeah, it's a good call. It's a good call, that.
AC Milan teams under Saki, Carlo were unbelievable, untouchable. You're right.
Yeah, beautiful team, beautiful players.
And Ali Danouche, is it true that PSG wants to offer Salah a contract for €500,000?
Why would he go to PSG? Why would he go there?
He doesn't need the money, to be honest.
Exactly.
He doesn't need it. And he's happy. He wants to finish his career here. And Steve, Joey Jones, Gary Ablett are not talked about as much as other players. Well, Gary went to Everton, didn't he? Joey Jones, he played the way we wanted him to play. He was one of us, if you know what I mean, Joey.
Yeah.
Black and White Boy says, any memories of mentioned him the other week,
yeah,
didn't he, John?
He loved Peter. He loved Peter
We were
Coleman.
talking about Peter. He was an incredible player, Black and White Boy.
Very intelligent player.
Fantastic. As I said, I was talking to this fella, me and my mate James Allen. We were in the stands. First time we ever went in the stands, you know, which is the main stand now. And we were sitting in there, and I went out to there. I said, "What does this fella do?" You know, Peter Cormack, to James, This fella was sitting by us, and he went, somehow fella, same age as us now, George, as he was then. And he went like that. He said, just watch him, lads, just watch him. And we did. And we found out what he did. He was an absolutely incredible player.
He was. Yeah, he was.
So I hope that answers your question, black and white. Zia says, am I wrong to rate the past LFC players of Phil Thompson era way ahead of the current lot? They played more games to win leagues, and the English team's so strong in Europe. Then the domestic league was the Champions League. The thing is, you see, George mentioned this before. When George was playing, and when I was watching, it was mud. He played on terrible pitches.
Yeah, in midwinter.
If you could see the players that were playing on mud, who played for Liverpool, the likes of Kevin Keegan. Let's
yeah, the 70s.
Incredible players. But like even Graham Souness, he plays on terrible pitches.
No, they did, yeah. The 70s, yeah.
So
also,
go on.
In those days, Frank, a European Cup, you had to win. You win or you were out. European Cup. When we won those European Cups, Bob Paisley, I mean, it was a knockout, and only the champions got in. So you had to win the league, and then you had to win every game to get to the final, and then win the final. So that's incredible what they did, those boys.
And you're right. It's as simple as that, because you had to be champions of your country. Never mind second and third and fourth and whatever.
Yeah.
You had to be champions of your country, so you were playing the best of other countries.
That's right.
They're champions. And what you said, George, was so spot on, because if you got beat, you were out.
That's right. No second chance.
Exactly. And to get to the final and win it, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
What Bob did.
Unbelievable. So, Zia, if you had these players today, I'm going to ask you this, George. Some of the players, going to the, like St. John, Ron Yates, Peter Thompson, Ian Kelly, Tommy Smith. Tommy Smith was a great footballer.
He was.
Great footballer. Wouldn't last 2 minutes today, be sent off. Unfortunately. Be banned. But he wasn't a dirty player. He was hard. Just imagine those playing on today's pitches, George.
Well, exactly. I always say that, that yes, the players today are fitter because the training methods are sharper, the technical equipment they've got and all the rest of it. But, if you took Ian Callaghan or Roger Hunt or Peter Thompson and put them into the same training academies as today, just the same ability in the head, football ability, they would be just as impressive and just as good as anybody playing today. George Best, if you put him on a pitch today, would still be a genius. Stanley Matthews would still be a genius, because geniuses are born, aren't they? So, it doesn't matter. I mean, and you're right what you said about those pitches. I remember we used to play like 2 games a week, most weeks. And it was, by the time it got to mid-October, November, the pitches were muddy down the middle, usually. But the ball you still sprayed the ball about and all the rest, but it wasn't quite what it is now, because agronomy's got much better. They can treat the grass. You look at the pitches now, every single pitch, not only in the Premier League, but even at Tranmere and other, it's like Wembley used to be. Wembley was the only pitch we knew was perfect, like a bowling green. That's why everybody loved to play at Wembley, because you had the orange ball, the crowd, the atmosphere, and the lovely pitch. But in the Football League pitches, it wasn't like that. Floodlights weren't as good either. You didn't have floodlights all around. You had floodlight in each corner. Yeah. Mind you can get away with a bit of mischief as well in those days. The referees went to, there was no VAR, no spies on the cameras. You can get into a few wars on the pitch and, get away with it.
Incredible, absolutely amazing. So when you go back in those days, and as you said, under the floodlights, and
We weren't playing for money either. Money was inconsequential,
non-existent.
because we were playing because we loved the game, and we didn't see a future beyond 30. You played till you got to 30, then who knows what happened to you? Because most of us left school at 15 without any qualifications. So unless you opened a pub or got a job driving a lorry or whatever else, there was no punditry or nothing like that going on. So these boys played football for the love of the game, and the crowds loved it. And we loved it. When it came to an end, it came to an end. And you have a long life ahead of you. Nowadays, Trent could retire tomorrow and never work again.
Exactly, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Steve says the Kennedy goal against Bayern Munich in the semi-final in their own backyards was when he scored that, beat them. Yeah. And as he's 66, McDermott scored loads of cracking goals in his Liverpool career. I loved that headed goal from Stevie Highway across when we beat Spurs 7-0.
Yeah.
I've said this before, I'll say it again lots of times. That was the best club goal I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It was the way it came out, one-touch football. And Terry was ran from our area, and he was running. And that ball by Stevie Highway, as it was sent over, it was like a precision, shall I say, probe that landed on a comet. It went. It was traveling for 11 years. And it went millions and millions of miles to land on a comet, and that was that goal because he hit it, and Terry McDermott, and he just went like that, and it was a goal. The ball was incredible. It was it was a better than Prince Arnold thing, because he had to hit it as he was running.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it now with the arrows behind it. The streamers behind them. You see the ball coming to the midfield, to the wing, and then in the middle, and then Terry McDermott scoring it. It would be great to watch that, wouldn't it? With the identifiers on it on the ball. You get these lines behind the ball. You see it come over. Fantastic.
Absolutely. And as he says, Firmino was awful until Mane and Salah arrived. And even the Redbirds say spot on there. See ya? Youngsters don't understand how hard it was to win trophies back in the day. Plus, there were no soft boys like in today's game. You only have to breathe on them. And a player, and he falls that absolutely.
Yeah.
And the Redbird says, thanks, Reds. The numbers are matching the likes. Thank you there, Redbirds. Keeping an eye on it.
Good lad.
Thank you so much. And Zia, Redbirds agreed the time before the Premier League was miles harder, in my view, better of them played on without the Amis yet.
Yeah. If you got injured, you got an injection. They give you an injection of cortisone. And the cortisone masked the pain and allowed you to play. But in later years, you paid the price with arthritis.
Tommy Smith.
Tommy Smith, definitely.
He was one of the he was one of the sufferers, wasn't
he? Yeah.
And as he's replying to Steve, I remember that Ray Kennedy goal versus Bayern. Listened on the radio with great Peter Jones commenting, great memories. I hated listening on the radio. I hated it. Oh, blimey, when you're at the, away games, you went away and you had it on the radio.
I'll tell you what, if you go on YouTube, you'll see me playing for Tranmere against Barnsley, and it's commentated on by the famous commentator Barry Davis, and it's only like short clip, 20 minutes or so, but you can. And there's one thing he says, and there's young Scott having a wonderful game.
Go on.
Yeah, you can get it on YouTube. Just write in Barnsley v Tranmere. I think it was 1969. one of the few times I've been on the telly because it was only black and white TV then. It was on Match of the Day.
Yeah, black and white. I said that to someone, when was it? Last week. I was said it to my grandson when he came down Christmas Day, and he was talking, and he said, I was watching something, I was in black and white. I said, I know. I said, if you would have come down then and seen me, you would have been looking at me in black and white. And he looked at me like that.
It's weird, Frank. At the end of the game, you see all the kids running on the pitch, and Barnsley Stadium's built up by now, but in those days, there was a big coal. It was in a coal mine country, and it's behind the goal. They must have been building a stand. You see a big black all coal behind the goal, And about 15,000 there, They're a good side.
I always remember going to my Auntie Leah. She got a coloured telly in. Never forget it. And Wimbledon was on, and I walked in. Now, don't forget, in black and white, we always seen a grey pitch. It was grey.
Yes, right.
And when I walked in, Wimbledon was on, and I walked in and looked at it, and there's green grass. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
First time I'd ever seen a coloured telly. And then I went down some other time, and Frankie Howard was on, and he had like purple hair. So like me then, like purple hair. I didn't know we had purple hair. Oh.
Remember when I was a kid saying to my mother, what's that piece of metal on the roof? And it was an aerial, our very first telly, black and white telly. It was a miracle. Well,
that was an old joke, wasn't it, as well? And so, don't you ever go out to fix the aerial on the roof sometimes? Don't you ever go out to fix the aerial? Yeah. Steve says, my granddad, dad, were there in Bayern. Seen that goal by Ray Kennedy, the King. Happy New Year, Frank and George, and all the listeners. I think you're leading, King. I think you're leading on that.
He is. That's right. Yeah.
A lot of reminds you.
Yeah.
I
think I'm sixth at the moment. I'm catching up. I had a good week last week.
This is for. It's either this. I don't know what you're leading on. Francine knows.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's the perpetual watch. It's perpetual motion. Great watch. Very expensive. Believe it, it's expensive. That's for the Premiership and the Fantasy and the Champions League Fantasy is for this. And it's the programme from when we beat Spurs in 2019 in Madrid, and there's Mo Salah's autograph.
That's a cracking prize, that.
So it's the full programme, and it's there, right there, and the watch as well. And it's whoever wins it.
I was annoyed on Saturday. I was annoyed with the West Ham game on Saturday because I read in the paper that Diaz's father had a heart attack and he hadn't travelled or something. Anyway, I took him out of my fantasy team and I put Jota in. And when the team was announced, Diaz was playing and he went and scored the first goal. I was gutted. And then, fortunately, Jota came on in the second half and he scored. So
and he scored. It's incredible.
It's quite addictive, the Fantasy League. I quite enjoy it.
That's great.
I'm not going to win it. I enjoy it.
But I haven't a clue, you see. I just put these up. I can't go in it. Francine's in it, my grandson.
Yeah.
Ben, he's in it as well.
My sons help me and my grandsons help me.
Ali the New says, all of you agree that Stevie G was the best English talent ever. I can't see another player better than him. No. It's a good shout, actually. Obviously, you mean midfield, to be honest.
In the modern era, I would say definitely.
Yeah, look, and as he says, imagine how many caps Clements would have got if he hadn't
Yeah,
wrote.
exactly.
Yeah. And he was better than him.
I think so.
Better than him. He was better than him. And the Red Bear says, Ditto King, 100%.
Yeah.
Imagine that King Balotelli used to start for Italy a few years ago.
Why
always me? He was
That's what he
adopted
used to
there, Balotelli, from Africa. I forget where he was. He was adopted by an Italian couple. And, you know, he was very lucky, you know, to play for the Azzurri, play football and given his name, Mario Balotelli.
Yeah. The rebel, he was a rebel, wasn't he? A real rebel.
Bobby Robson was the manager, says Zia, when England, you know,
kept picking shots.
He was the England manager at the time. And Stevie says, I wish I had the pleasure of watching Little, Hunt, etc., but watching you two now will do.
Yeah, you would have loved both of them. You would have loved Roger, not only as a player, but as a man.
Yeah. The legends, says Steve, up to 1975 could play on these smooth pitches now, but legends after 1990 could not play on the pitches before 75. And Steve says, I watched the Dennis Law documentary. Amazing. Great player.
Well, that's my all-time idol, Dennis Law.
Dennis the Menace, he calls him.
He was. He was just great, you know. Know Dennis very well. It's wonderful.
Just imagine, you know, I've seen all these players. I actually seen Pele at Goodison.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And you see,
we're very blessed, really. We're very blessed, Frank.
Lev Yashin.
I know.
Lev Yashin.
Alfredo Di Stefano. Wishkas.
Enzo, do you ever remember Enzo?
Left wing for Real Madrid, yeah.
Yeah. Alongside Di Stefano. I always thought that he was Spanish, and he wasn't. He was Argentinian, wasn't he?
Argentinian, yeah, he was, yeah.
Steve says Super League is coming in the next 5 years. Football, as we now know, is over. The thing is, I've always said that the Super League will come back, and it will.
I really hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't.
But I've always said it. I said it years and years ago. I said there'll be a European Super League somewhere along to pick the best from England, the best from Germany, you know, the rest of them as well, Italy, Spain, and everywhere. I said they'll have a big league. They could either have one or two. And lo and behold, that's what came about. And John Henry was made up. All the money we're going to be making.
Yeah, I hope it never happens. Really do.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks, George, for another brilliant show. 100%. Being well busy over the Crimbo, so it's an early night for me. Great chatters, 100%. Night all. Catch you next time.
Man, all the best, Redbird.
He's lovely, isn't he? Lovely, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah. You never give us a prediction, because I'm going into predictions now. All we want to give away with that watch. We won't give away with that watch. Yeah, says Ali the Noosh.
You have to win it.
You have to win it. And Steve says Diaz might leave this summer. Club not paying us the wages he deserves. You're right there, Steve. He
should be one of the top earners.
Oh, it's shocking what they pay him. Well, do you know how much Curtis is on, by the way?
Not be very much, will it?
10 grand.
I wonder how long his contract is, because, you know, that's ridiculous.
That's shocking.
That's ridiculous. You know, the club should make it. It doesn't matter how long the contract is. I mean, if it's obviously unfair, they should change it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I love watching you guys. I love all the chat about teams back in the day when football was proper football. The referees were all right as well.
Well, the good thing about it, when they made the decision, there was a final decision. You didn't have to wait until the play finished to raise your flag, like now. I saw one the other day when the game went on for about a minute, and it was obviously offside, and the guy kept his flag down. The keeper came out and dived at the forward's feet. He could have been killed. And then the flag goes up. It's crazy. Somebody's going to get injured.
Of course they are. And that's it. I don't know. That's FIFA rules.
I know.
FIFA, not UEFA. FIFA rules.
If it's obviously offside, the flag should go up.
Well, that's when we were playing and watching it, George. The ref, the lines were flag up, bang, stop. That was it. Then you took the free kick.
But you went down the pub at night, had an argument in the pub. That was a goal. No, it wasn't a goal. And that was part of the fun of the match day experience. The referee was called all sorts of names.
Yeah.
But there was no abuse on social media like there is now. There was no risk of corruption because there was no foreign Arab people that are breaking the rules and all the rest. It was just fair play to everybody. Everybody was in the same boat. They usually balanced out over the season.
And Steve, American vulture capitalists are buying up the English clubs, so they will vote to leave the EPL.
Well, he's right in a way because that's a danger. It won't be long before they look for a Premier League game over in America.
Absolutely. You're right there. You're right. Now get on to this next one. And it's Steve again. Nat Phillips earns more wages than Diaz, Jones, Kelleher, etc.
Well, I mean, I know what Steve's saying, but how do we know what they're earning? Do the players publish the wages? I mean, I've never seen anything about the wages.
But I know that Jones is only on 10 grand a week.
I mean, I remember our wages being published, and the highest was 20 quid.
I gave those a tip to the taxi driver.
I've got the list, which every player earned, and the highest was 20 quid. Lowest was £1. Phil Ferns, he earned £1. That particular week that it was published.
I seen Phil Ferns, and we were playing Manchester United, and Phil Ferns had Georgie Best in his pocket.
Yeah, because he was a destroyer, Phil.
Yeah. He has him in his pocket. He was incredible. Yeah. Phil Ferns. And no one even knows him.
No, he didn't play that many games. He was an awkward player.
Oh, great. So listen, George. I think it'll be the same team. I think I'm going to go with the midfield. I think Szoboszlai will be back.
He'll be back, yeah. Szoboszlai will be playing with McAllister and
Gravenberch, yeah.
And Gravenberch, yeah. And the fullback, Kwanzaa will be playing if Konaté is not fit, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Unless they play Gomez. No, Gomez is injured, isn't he? So, it'll be Kwanzaa and Van Dijk in the middle, and it'll be Trent and Robbo, I would imagine. Yeah. And then the forward line, I think, picks itself.
Yeah,
Salah, Diaz, and Gakpo.
Yes.
Nunes on the bench.
They're the three, aren't they?
I think so. That's the team, I think. And we should be good enough. We certainly should be good enough to take this Man United team. I'd be staggered if we don't. It'll have to be an absolute turnaround to beat all turnarounds. But you never know. They could rise to the occasion. They might pick Rashford and hope he gets a goal.
Well, Edward says he needs to give Kwanzaa confidence. Well, when he came on against, he did have all the confidence and everything. I was made up for him that night.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
He should be okay. But, if Konaté's fit to play, just play him. Be safe against this.
He must be getting close to come back now, yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget that Bruno Fernandes is not playing. He's suspended.
No, he's playing, I think. He was.
What?
I think he's playing. He was suspended for the midweek game. He was suspended for that game they lost against Newcastle. One game suspension. I think so, Frank. Anyway, I'm not bothered about him anyway.
I don't like. He's dirty. He is a dirty player, snidey.
We know the crowd's going to be up for it, as they always are against United. So they'll have a tough day, I think.
I don't think United will be the fans won't want to be playing us.
Not at the moment, but I don't think we should get too cocky because, pride comes before a fall.
And Steve says, this is interesting, George. Who plays if Virgil and Quansah get in?
That is interesting.
We've got no one.
I can't think. No, they've got they've got another guy out in the centre half. Big strong.
Yeah, I know you mean, but no.
Just forget his name now.
I know he's got one of those funny names, but no.
I don't know, Frank. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know who they'd play in there, really, from the current squad.
That's why people keep saying we need a centre-back.
Yeah.
That's right. Why I keep saying, get this in Cappy. He's a great left back, but he's also can play left-sided centre-back.
Yeah, exactly. We definitely need somebody in there, need a backup, because you're right, if Quansah gets injured, or God forbid Van Dijk gets injured, we're in trouble.
Callum says United will park the bus. Yep.
I think they'll have to. They'll be forced to the way we go at them.
And Steve says Fernandes is back for United. Good news for us. He's lazy.
Yeah, I don't mind him.
No, he's snidey. He's just lazy. So listen, George, what's your prediction?
I'm not going to go silly with some of these stupid 7-0s and all the rest of it. I would hope. What I'm thinking is 3-0. 3-0 for Liverpool. Because they'll be fighting. I mean, United they're on the ropes, like a fighter on the ropes. I mean, you can imagine going through the mind of a professional player. You saw that lad Xerxes got taken off after 30 minutes. He was in tears, and he puts his tracks on and goes off. Then he comes back with a bottle of orange just to make sure he was back on the bench. So they're devastated at the moment. So they're going to have to be up for it. Like their lives depended on it. So we have to be up for it as well and start quick. And so that's why I think it will be a tighter game than some people think. I don't think we'll be. I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. 7-0 will be great, but 3-0 will do me, Frank.
See what the lads are saying.
Yeah.
Callum, the most famous cop-out in the world, he says 5-0.
I love Callum. I love his enthusiasm. It's brilliant, isn't it? Really brilliant.
Salah 2, Diaz 2, and Jota.
I love that. That'll get me a lot of points on fantasy football. I'll have about 50 points there.
And he says, Gapco rested Jota, Diaz and Salah up front. Well, we wouldn't mind whoever.
Wouldn't mind that. Diaz on the left wing, Salah on the right and Jota in the middle. Yeah.
And the IBR, a very late evening to you, Franco and Jorginho.
I know, but it's my cocoa time in a minute.
Absolutely, it is, yeah. We get an early goal, United's in trouble, says Steve.
Yeah, score first. If we score first, they'll have to come at us, which will leave gaps.
And when young Steve says, if Quansah and the other fella get injured, Virgil, Enzo could fill in at centre-back like he did in the League Cup, says 80.
Yeah, he could, yeah.
We get an early goal, we could do, a West Ham 2.0.
Yeah, that's important to get again. If we get a first goal.
Ian Mack going 4-1 to the Redmen.
That'll do me.
It says Ian Mack. IBR says, I think 3-1. And Christopher says, do you think United will change their system from 3-4-3 after Amarim said he will never change his system a few weeks ago.
He says he's not going to change it. He said that yesterday. He can't change it. It's the only way he knows how to play.
He's got no plan B.
No. Well, they've got the players for a plan B anyway.
Yeah. Paul Turner says, I can see it being 3 apiece. 3 for Salah and 3 for Gakpo.
3
for Jota and 3 for Gia.
I mean, I'll be happy if we win. That'll do me. If we win, it'll do me.
12-0. Steve says, Virgil or Quansah not available against Forest. Enzo, Chris Woods eats them. Yes. Can't see United escaping this game. We will beat them badly, I think. That team is so bad. Amarim needs a lot of time to change it.
Yeah, if we play like we can play, if we play like we normally can play, we should beat them comfortably.
Ian Max says that United keeper Onana is like Count Dracula, he hates crosses. Anyway, George, you've got to go, haven't you?
Yeah, I can hear her who must be obeyed. I can hear her in the next room now, waiting for my company.
I'll see you on Tuesday, eh?
Yeah, see me on Tuesday. I'll be there on Tuesday, Frank. Look forward to it, Let's hope we come good news over the weekend. We can get a good win against this lot from the United. I can't stand them. So I'll say good night to all the guys on the chat. Thanks for all their contributions. It's been brilliant as usual. Happy New Year to everybody. And I'll only say one other thing is, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Up the Reds!
Up there. You never walk alone. Cheers, George. Thank you. What a lovely man he is. Youssef says, I just want 3 points. Don't care how we get it, how we do it. And they're all going here. I don't know where we are. I'm sorry there, boys. Let's see. IBR says, I think Van Dijk, Gakpo and Diaz will score. Yeah, 3-0 to us. Paul Turner, that's 12-0. That's just the first half. Like, only the new 6-1. 6-1. That's lovely. Paul says, good night, George. Take care. All the best, George, says Ali. Enjoy your evening. And Christopher, in that case, my heart says 10-0, but my head says 8. I haven't given you mine yet, have I? See you, Jorginho. Enjoy the cocoa. Good night, George. Up the Reds, says Ian Mac. Bye, George. Could be like, by Jove, by George. Thanks, George, as always. Great to hear your views along with Frank, says Eddie, 66. And young Steve says, we have beaten them recently 3-4-5-7-0. We need a 6-0 now to go with the formation. 3-4-5-6-7. What about 8? But anyway, it's been great tonight, boys. It's been great. Thank you so much. Next kilometre. Should have seen what they were doing to me today. Oh, blimey. But anyway, it has been good tonight. Some great comments. Some FSG, not so nice comments about them. Romanian commentator said at the last game that Liverpool won the title already, says Ali News. No, that's Ali lives in Romania. He's a Romanian. So that's what he's saying there. The king. Like George, 4-0 Sunday. Copite. That colour. Great stream, you'll never walk alone. Thanks. Thanks. And before I go, just look at this, lads. If you go in the game and you need some stuff, there's your place. There's your place. That scarf or a badge. They're open for 2 hours every Anfield game. They're always open for 2 hours, and it's all quality. Please believe me, it's pure quality that they sell. Michelle and Michael Dean, great team they are as well. You know what I mean? Small business. Go and support them. Go and support if you're buying any stuff. You can get hoodies, you can get t-shirts like this. Let me show you. T-shirts like that. Look at that. T-shirts like that. I love this one. I can't wait to wear this, but this is like summer wear. Fuck that wearing it now, or freezing. Look at that. I'll show you this properly. Let me take that off a minute. It's good, this. Look at that. 6 times champions of Europe, and it's got every city that we won it in. Isn't that abuse? Can't wait to wear that. Can't wait to wear it. And this is the one I showed you before. And it's all quality stuff, honestly. It's all quality. Look at that. The bears on your chest. But that's right there. The heart. Fantastic. So go there. That scarf or a badge. And you'll see the quality stuff. IBR says, Man United fans will need therapy if we do them 7-0 again. They're still having therapy now from the last time we beat them 7-0. Paul saying, good night, Frank. Take care and best wishes for 2025. Thank you. And the same to you, Paul. Darryl. Hey, Frank. Hey, Darryl. If anyone's messaging me, I can't answer back. Don't ask me why. Something wrong with me bloody phone. Jason's been, the producer. He's been sending me, but I can't send any messages out. It's ridiculous. Do you know what? I pay this direct debit, and I forget who I'm with. 02, is it? And 3 times I've said, and I've given them my detail. Is it ready? Yeah. Nothing against it goes through to India. And I said, yeah, it's okay now, everything. I said, just take it out, direct out of the bank. Okay. And this is what's happening every time. And I just can't get that. I'm nuts. So anyone, if you've been trying to message me for some reason, sorry, I can't answer you back. Good night, Frank. Kelly, the new says, wish you a great sleep all the way from Romania. Good night, Ellie. All the best for this new year. Okay. And Zara says, sorry, late being to see Louisa's mum. she's struggling. I know, mate. Because she lost two, didn't she? Because you lost your sister-in-law, Louise's sister as well, didn't you? It's nuts. Ian Mac. Thanks, Frank. Have a good night and the rest of the week. Thank you. The next time I'm on is tomorrow night. Is it tomorrow? I keep losing my date. Yeah, it's dead. I'm doing a conspiracy theories tomorrow. Wait till you hear the one I'm doing tomorrow. It's about a Nazi general and another Nazi, SS, and where they ended up and what they were doing, and it applies today. This is after the Second World War. So, if you want to join me for that tomorrow night, and obviously what's going on as well, current affairs, current issues, 8 o'clock tomorrow, if you want to join me. And if you can't join me then, join me on Saturday morning for the film and TV review. And I've got some good films lined up, actually. I will not watch, I'm telling you now, I won't watch today's films. There's only a few I pick out because the films today are so wokish, I will not tolerate them. That's me, that's just me. IBR. See you again, Franco. And is there a conspiracy yet tomorrow night? Yeah. I was just being mentioned as IBR. See what you think about it tomorrow night. Should be good. Should be good. I was going to have a UFO ufologist on, but he's got this, I don't know, he thought he had the flu, but he's got something else. I don't know what, it's not pneumonia or anything, He's a good fella, actually, and he shows pictures of what he's taking. But he won't be on, unfortunately. But he will be on very soon when he gets better. So listen, if I don't see you all tomorrow, or some of you, I'll see you Saturday morning. If I don't see you Saturday morning, I'll see you on the post-match on Sunday. Post-match. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on Mark Simons. Hey, Mark. Where's Gibraltar now? Hey, has it come back to the English or what? I mean the Spanish. Give Gibraltar back to the Spanish. And the Malvinas back to Argentina. Anyway, Mark says, both Trent and Alphonso Davies were told 12 months ago by Madrid to run both contracts down to get big sign-on fees. That's shocking, that. If he does that, why doesn't he just say, I want to go to Real? Why doesn't he just come on and just say, I want to go? And he can go tomorrow for me, Don't want to say that. I don't want to see him go. I want him to be loyal to the club. I want him to be loyal to the team. I want him to be loyal to Liverpool, the city, and the Liverpool supporters globally. But that's me. That's just me. Whether you agree, don't know. But if you don't, we can sign him. This fella, sign him. He'd be into us. I guess that is. But anyway, it's just for me to say thank you so much for keeping me and George company tonight. Some great comments there. Really good. Honestly, good comments. And we tried to discuss them, and, you know. So anyway, see you all soon. As the Italians say, ci vediamo. Ciao tutti. Ciao bella.